Welcome everybody to my second video, and these videos I'm talking about camera system for 35mm films that I can maybe give you a little bit about my opinion on them so you can make your mind and choose one of these systems instead of wasting your money on other cameras. Then you will find later on that others will be better for you. First of all, I'm a beginner in this YouTube or vlogging, or I don't know what you want to call it, so excuse the way I video or make these videos. And I'm not Steven Spielberg or something, but I do my best. And the important thing in these videos is the information that you get, and this is what I'm concentrating on. Anyway, I'm sure I will improve maybe in the future making these videos. If you can encourage me, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, then that will make me happy. I will know that I'm not talking to myself here all the time. So in the first video that I posted, I talked about the Nikon FM3A, and I explained a little bit about it. And I said if you have any questions about it, we can discuss it on the comment section, or I can make another video about it. But this is, according to my opinion, is one of the most fun cameras to use, because when it comes to film photography, you only care about the lens. Number one, mostly you care about the lens and the film, the type of film that you use. Anything else is like secondary, the camera and all of that. But if you can have, if you are looking to the camera system, try to read about the lens, or what kind of lens that you can use with that system. Either it is the native lenses or third-party lens, because in the end that's what will affect your image quality. Camera is has an important also. If you have a camera that you struggle with, you're not familiar with, it is very hard to operate. That could mean you'll miss the shot or something like that. So Nikon has beautiful lenses, native lenses. It has the volgtlander lenses, the 40mm and the 58mm and the 90mm and the 20 and the 28 millimeter. Both are beautiful lenses, especially for black and white. I shoot film black and white only, monochrome. Color film and color, I really like the Fujifilm ISO 400, but the color that comes from that film is very accurate, very beautiful, very pleasing to the eyes. But the dynamic range of that film is not that great, unless you are in a very if you are shooting in a very soft diffused light, like in a cloudy day or something, where you have low dynamic range. But if you are in a very contrasty situation, you will end up with a very contrasty picture. So I prefer digital, the Fuji X-T2, the Fujifilm digital 24 megapixel. I use it for color if I'm shooting color. Black and white, I usually use the HP5, and there's a couple of nice black and white films. A lot of videos talk about different black and white, and some of them has like low dynamic range, some has more dynamic range, more details in the shadows. HP5 is one of the best in my opinion. I'm sticking with it until for now. So most of my shots are black and white. These lenses take beautiful black and white. There's a couple of lenses, couple of cameras that has also good lenses, vintage lenses, old lenses, lenses without coating, cheap. Some have radioactive coating. You can find it in old lenses. I don't know how you can detect if your lens is radioactive or not. You need that device thing that can read gamma ray or radioactive materials. I'm guessing most of us don't have that device. But if you are shooting, always looking through the viewfinder, and your lens is radioactive, I guess the only way to find out is when you start to grow a third eye. Well, at that time, by that time you should call your doctor and get rid of that lens, and maybe go to India and be a god for a couple of months until you die from brain tumor. I'm just trying to make silly jokes. I don't think these radioactive lenses are that dangerous, unless, I don't know, if you are putting it in a pregnant woman's stomach or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But it's not a serious problem. It doesn't matter. But the new lenses will have, in general, better coating than the old ones. And you can go to the old video and check the video about this camera and the volgtlander lenses. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about a rangefinder camera. It's the Minolta CLE. Rangefinders, they are a little bit different than the viewfinder cameras, the SLRs. Through the rangefinder, you can look at your frame, and a little bit extra, you can see if something outside a frame, someone is coming toward your frame, you can see him through the rangefinder. The focusing, which is the split screen, or the two images that overlay to indicate that the subject is in focus. One image will get through this little window here, and the other one is through this window of the rangefinder, and both will you'll see them through here apart from each other, and you'll try to focus until you get them overlaid. Sometimes, for example, in some lenses, for this case, this lens, when you put the lens hood, it will block some of a portion of the image that comes in through this little window here. This is a very compact camera, smaller than the Leica or the zeiss ZM rangefinder or the volgtlander Bisa. It is the smallest, I think, M-mount rangefinder, so everything is very close from each other. So if you don't need the lens hood, just remove it, or You can use the zone focusing system, which is to estimate the distance between you and the subject in meters or feet, and just adjust the focus accordingly. It needs some practice, this focusing zone system. There is a Leica 40mm 2.8 I think lens that comes with this camera. It's a very good lens, but I prefer the Volgtlander 40mm f1.4. It's faster than the Leica. This is the Volgtlander Nocton Classic. There's two versions of this lens. The single coated version and the multi-coated version. The single coated is suited for black and white photography. It gives you more details in the shadows. I'm shooting the HP5 here, also black and white. Using also on it some filters, yellow filter, or sorry, the orange one. The image that comes from this lens is fantastic, and like I said, it's very fast, f1.4. The only thing that I don't like about this lens is a little bit the focusing thing here. It's very I don't know, stiff, resisting, annoying a little bit. Also, I don't like how you start this camera, the way you start the button in this camera. Of course, this camera has aperture priority. The shutter goes to 1/1000th of a second. It doesn't work unless you have batteries inside. There's the Leica CL, if I'm not mistaken, the Leica CL, which is like exactly the same copy of this. This camera is designed by Leica and Minolta, cooperating with each other. And they also Leica also produced the Leica CL, which is totally fully mechanical manual camera, but this one has the aperture priority. Sometimes I like to shoot with aperture priority, especially if the light condition is changing. I'm walking in a very contrasty place. I keep forgetting to set and reset my exposure according to the light, so I just sometimes want to put it in aperture and or automatic mode and just concentrate on shooting and finding subjects to shoot. Rangefinder people, they say the rangefinder way of focusing, it's more accurate, and it is more accurate than the DSLR cameras, but with the split screen prism that you can install most of DSLRs with this, split screen. It comes for Nikon, for Canon, for whatever, and it's basically something similar to the viewfinder, the rangefinder focusing system, but this is a very compact system. The lenses are very good, excellent lenses, and sometime I take this, sometime I take the DSLRs, but the DSLRs you see through the lens, so you kind of know what kind of picture you're gonna get in the end. The rangefinder, you have to calibrate it or adjust it from time to time, and if you don't know a place to send your camera to adjust the rangefinder, you can do that yourself with this camera by removing this plasticky metal-y thing. You can remove it carefully with something sharp or whatever, and then get a small screw, and adjust the rangefinder. You do it while you are looking through the rangefinder window at a subject, like a little bit far away, and you adjust it until you get the two pictures overlay on top of on each other. What else? Hand grip, makes it easier to grip the camera. It's a little bit slippery. What else? This is the shutter release cable. You screw it here, which is a weird place. Not on the button here. No, you screw it here and you press the shutter release. So the only thing that I don't like about this camera, like I said, it's the start up button here. There's a start up down, and if you pushed it upward, you will be on the timer. This camera takes 40mm M mount, which you have volgtlander 40mm and Leica. There's the Leica 40mm 2.8 and the Leica 40mm Summicron 2 f2. But this is 1.4 and it's a general lens. It's not a 50, it's not a 35, it's in between, which some of you will find a little bit odd. They are used to 50 or 35, but 40mm is also a nice focal length. It accepts 40mm. You will find the reading here or a frame that indicates that it recognized this lens, the 40mm, 28mm, and 90mm or 85. It doesn't accept 50, 35, 75, 135. It doesn't accept any other Leica focal lengths or M focal lengths. I mean, you can put them, you can put 21 or whatever a millimeter, but you will not get any indication in the rangefinder that it recognized the lens. So I have the Zeiss 28mm f2.8 and the Zeiss 85mm f4. Both are excellent lenses, beautiful lenses. f4 a little bit slow, but it is for street photography, it is for landscape photography, portrait, but the bokeh will not be fantastic on this lens, but it will be nice. So this camera and these three lenses will cover almost all the situation you have. Beautiful lenses, compact system, and that's all about the 35 millimeter. Also other system, if you are into a Minolta, and Minolta has great lenses, but you don't like the rangefinder, you'll have this little baby here, the XDs or the XD, the Minolta XD. There's the 700 X700 or XD700 or something, which is nice, but this has the build quality in this is better than the 700. The lenses, this is the kit lens, which is the 35 to 70 millimeter. It's a zoom lens, f3.5, which is like it's enough aperture for a lot of situations. You don't need a super fast lens, but it's an overall lens, kit lens, excellent image quality. It got aperture priority, shutter priority, manual. It's a fantastic camera. Split screen prism inside, so the manual focus will be easier. And you have the 50 millimeter f1.4, one of the most beautiful lenses in the world. Image quality and everything, very compact, very small. 28 for street photography, for landscape, for almost any situation. 28 millimeter f2.8, excellent lens. And the monster 58 millimeter f1.8. This is a little bit expensive lens. It's extremely fast, extremely thin depth of field. It's for portrait or extremely low light situations. So these are 3 prime lenses plus the zoom kit lens. So the 58 1.2, the 28 2.8, the 50 millimeter, the nifty 50 1.4, and the 35 to 70 millimeter zoom f3.5 continuous f3.5. So this is Minolta, the DSLR, the viewfinder, and this is the rangefinder here, the SLE with the 40 millimeter, 85 millimeter, and 28 millimeter. Both systems are fantastic. These lenses are not the best lenses, but they are all excellent lenses. But you can get those or get others. Some will be more expensive, some will be cheaper. Zeiss is a very excellent lens for the M mount or the Leica mount cameras. Leicas are extremely expensive. The image quality, that you cannot tell the difference between the Zeiss and the image quality of the Leicas. Of course, there's legends in the Leica system. like the 90mm Summochrome aspherical APO. That's a legend lens, very shallow depth of field. You have the 50mm Summochrome aspherical. You have the Leica 40mm f2, very expensive, but this is, I mean, f1.4. If you are shooting white and black, get the single coated version. If you are shooting colors, get the multi-coated version. That's basically it. If you have any questions about these lenses, someday I'll try to post some pictures using these lenses. They are in the freezer. I need to develop them first. In the future I will try to post some pictures with these lenses. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I don't post or upload a lot of videos, maybe once every month, every 2 months, so I will not bother you and shower you with videos every day or every week. So see you next time, I guess. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.